Hey y'all, what is up? It is Lisa Blone, and I am back with another live video. Thank you guys so much for tapping in to Blone Got Tea. Make sure you smash that like button, share out this live, and if you guys are feeling the vibe, go ahead and subscribe. Let's go ahead and get into the latest on these social media streets. Okay, now tonight or this evening, I wanted to go ahead and get into YSL Woody, aka I think his real name is Kenneth Copeland. Okay, now if you guys don't know, Woody, and like I said, I think his real name is Kenneth Copeland, was in a near fatal accident. Okay, and I just want to let you guys know first off that he is not DEAD. All right, and we're going to get into the details, and I'm going to give you an update on his condition. So let's get into it. Okay. Now, let me go ahead and get into this article about what exactly happened to Woody. All right. And if you need a little reminder on who Woody is, um, hold on, you guys. Woody was known as well, he has been, I guess, made famous because he was involved in the YSL trial with Young Thug. Okay. And he was not a very cooperative witness. Okay, I could just say that much about him. Okay, but that is where we met Woody. Okay, and we'll get into that in a minute. But if you guys know, he's from the YSL trial. He was put on. He was one of the witnesses. Right, he was put on trial as one of the witnesses for the Young Thug case, which lasted almost a year and a half. Okay, now, fast forward to what went on with him. He was in an accident. Okay. Let me see. Let me go ahead and pull up this article so we can get into this. So I can give you the specifics so I won't be, kind of guessing it. Let me pull up this article for you guys. Thank you guys so much for tapping in to Blone Got Tea. Let me see. Okay, so let me pull this up. This is from Complex. And let me see. Hold on, you guys. Now, like I said, he's in a motorcycle. Well, it's alleged motorcycle accident, and he did sustain serious injuries. Now, he did speak while he was in the hospital, but as you guys can see on the thumbnail, he has been released from the hospital. Okay, and hold on, y'all. I don't even have this up. Let me go ahead and pull this up so I can give you guys the details on exactly what happened to him. And I am going to show you a little bit of the before, okay, of what happened to him. We got to play by YouTube rules, okay? So I can't show you much graphic. Now, I did have an excerpt of the video that was kind of blurred out, but for some reason, YouTube or whatever it is won't let me upload it. It may just be my system, okay? So I'm going to give it to you guys from clips from what's already out there, okay? Okay, so let's go ahead and get into this. Now, he was found bloodied and unresponsive, okay? And a lot of people pulled out their cameras, it's 2025, Everything is a spectacle. Everything has to be captured. So I feel like it was a little bit of a panic, but there was somebody there that told them not to move Woody, which I think was a very, very smart thing not to do. So I think, kind of he kind of helped the situation, and he probably didn't know how much he did help the situation by telling them not to move him. Okay. I think it would have been much worse if they had of, but let's go ahead and get into the specifics of what happened. And there were rumors out there saying that, he was, no longer here and things like that. And I don't want to further that, but let's get into what did happen and what we do know. Okay. Now, let me go ahead and pull this up for you guys. And I had to change around the thumbnail because I was really focusing, and I still want to talk about reckless behavior. Not saying that this is fall in any way, shape, or form, because when you guys actually see this, you will know. But a little bit of this. I'm kind of hot and cold with Woody. I'm kind of sweet and sour with Woody, because he does a lot of good things, and he's just so brutally, even a little bit. But let's go ahead and get into this article, you guys. All right. And you guys can kind of tap in the chat and let me know your POV. Let me know what you're thinking. Let me know your perspective on this. First of all, before I get started all the way in reading this in the chat, I want to make sure that you guys can hear me and hear me clearly. And you guys can. I have the fan on. I'm sorry if you guys can hear that. Okay. Now let me see. All right. So let's bring this up. And I'm going to make sure that you guys can see it too. Now, the rapper and YSL trial witness, Little Woody, injured in a dirt bike accident. Let's go ahead and get into this. Now, I do have the video, okay, and it shows that Kenneth Copeland lying unresponsive on the ground with a BLOODY head as a panicked crowd formed around him on Sunday night. So this was just last night, you guys, all right? I mean, I'm surprised he's been released from the hospital, but I'm not a doctor and I don't know his specific injuries. So let's just read and see what they have for us, okay? Now, I want to let you know that he did share pictures and videos of himself on the motorbike on Sunday night before the incident. And there's a short video clip that I will show you on the day of the incident before this horrific near fatal accident that happened to him. But let's go ahead and get into the article. Now, we are with the Sun, the U.S. Sun, okay? After speculation ran wild that Woody, who testified as a witness during last year's YSL racketeering trial, has been unalive, the truth emerged that he had simply fallen off a bike in an accident. Now, Woody's manager, Barry White, posted a video of the rapper on Instagram following the incident. The pair was seen in the car with Woody in the passenger seat. I just don't want you driving, White said while laughing in the clip posted early Monday morning. It's unclear when the video was taken. Okay. Now, another video was posted on the Shade Room that showed Woody in the hospital bed wearing a neck brace with scrapes on his face, on his shoulder, his eye. Like, he looks pretty beat up, you guys. And the fact that he didn't have a helmet on, which I didn't see a helmet before, during, or after. So I'm assuming that he didn't have a helmet. This is a dangerous game that you play when you just want to look good and, you don't want to wear a helmet. For whatever reason, it's never a good idea to be on a motor vehicle like a motorcycle, an RV, a four-wheeler, or anything like that without protection to your noggin, okay? Because brain injuries are serious and nothing to play with. And who should know that better than Kenneth Copeland? Better than Woody? Because if you guys didn't know, he had a previous brain injury. a serious one. And we'll get into the details of that as well. Now, let's see. It does say that he shared a religious message as he stared upward, seeming slightly dazed, while hospital machines could be heard beeping in the background. Now, I quote, he says, "No matter what goes on, pray for forgiveness. God will come through and protect you at all costs, even in time of pain." And this is what he's quoted as saying while he was in the hospital bed. Now, it says that the rapper's fans had shared desperate cries for answers and even some comments saying RIP under Woody's most recent Instagram post after clips of the fall's aftermath started circulating. Now, on some unfounded online claims, the witnesses said that Woody was hit while he was riding, but others claimed he lost control of the bike. All right. Now, we're going to go ahead and get into that too. Like I said, I do have a clip that we're going to look at. Now, onlookers were heard calling for help as Woody lay on Peter Street. A wrecked motorbike was seen in the video. Before Woody was seen bloodied in the viral video, he was sharing videos and pictures of a rowdy night partying in the Atlanta streets. Woody's Instagram story showed people riding dirt bikes and motorcycles in circles, dancing and revving up their car engines. Like I said, reckless behavior. Although it's fun, although I've been there, done that, it's still dangerous. Okay? It was dangerous when I was doing it, dangerous when your daddy was doing it, and dangerous when little Woody was doing it. Okay? Now, he was wearing the same white shirt that he later wore while still on the ground. Now, it's unclear if Woody was driving a motorcycle or a dirt bike at the time of his fall. Atlanta police said the incident report from the incident has not been finalized, so they are unable to confirm what happened. Woody's team didn't immediately return the U.S. Sun's request for comment. Okay. Now, let's go ahead and get into this video, you guys. And I am going to have to stop it at one point. Okay. I'm going to let you know, give credit where credit is due. If you want to watch the video in its entirety, you most definitely can. Okay. All right. So let's go ahead and pull this up for you. Let's see. Let me see, guys. All right, so let's go ahead and get into this. I've already queued it up. To be honest with you, I didn't watch this all the way through, so let me go ahead and share this with you guys, okay? All Urban Central on YouTube. If you guys want to see this video in its entirety, you can make your way on over to All Urban Central. Shout out to them, and let's get into this. Oh, Lord. I'm going to keep that sound off for a little minute. Hold on, let me pull it down. Because of the music, you guys. Hold on, let me make sure. All right, so as you guys can see, he is out and about in Atlanta streets, okay? And we've seen this all too often, okay? Where they have the cars racing and you hang out, you know, chilling. It's still dangerous, y'all. And we see what happened, okay? But go ahead and take a look at the video. I think they're playing music through this whole video, but we can see the visual, right? Let me see, guys. Let me see if it's still music or not. So what I'm gonna do is rewind that little part right there. All right, as you guys can see, that is Woody. All right, let me go ahead and rewind that part. And you guys take a look at what happened. Like I said, some people say that he was hit off his dirt bike. And some people said he fell. It looked as if he was hit off of his dirt bike. Okay. You guys let me know what you guys see. All right. So as you guys can see, this is what happened. All right. This is what happened. Hold on. Okay, so they blur it out, which is a good thing.
No, not Lil Woody.
So you hear the guy in the background saying, "Don't move him, don't move him," keeps repeating, "Don't move him." And I think that may just be what which stopped him or prevented him from having further injury. I'm not going to say saved his life, but it sure didn't hurt. Okay, I think it was a great idea. I think if they would have moved him, it would have been worse. And we all know, or most of us know, that if somebody's injured or whatever, because it could be a neck or seemingly, remember they said it was a lot of red stuff coming out, in and around his head. So that was a clue to not move him. Okay, things like neck injuries, head injuries, brain injuries, or just back injuries that you don't know about is the main reason why they tell you do not move someone who is injured in this way, right? Just wait for assistance. And I'm glad that they did. Now let's go ahead and fast forward. And what I do want to say is we now know one thing I want to clear up is he's still alive. All right. Now, let's go ahead and get into what Woody had to say. And like I said, he did speak out from the hospital bed as well. And I would guess some hours ago that he was released from the hospital, maybe this morning. I'm not too sure. But let's get into him being released, okay? Now, this is what Woody had to say. And basically, he wanted to just thank everybody that prayed for him. And I can honestly say that it looks pretty battered, okay? Now, we don't know the full extent of his injuries, and I don't even think their official police report is out yet. So we are going to hold our reservations on that, okay? But what I can show you is what he said. All right, so let me go ahead and share this with you. I mean, I think it's sort of brief. I would assume that he is in pain, okay? And it seems like he did suffer head injuries. As you guys can see, his eyes kind of puffy. I don't know if that mask is just because, he's out of the hospital just to protect or whatever, or I don't know if he's hiding an injury. But let's go ahead and listen to what he had to say, okay?
And they've been supportive. God bless y'all. I just want to thank everybody that prayed for me, and they've been supportive. God bless y'all. I just want to thank everybody that prayed for me, and they've been supportive. God bless y'all. I just want to thank everybody that prayed for me, and they've been supportive. God bless y'all. I just want to thank everybody that prayed for me.
All right, so that was his message. You guys can see. I presume that he's on his way home. Okay. Now, some people are saying, "Oh, this is his karma. This is back and forth." Because I was reading some of the comments. Me personally, my opinion, I don't believe that this is karma. I believe this came from reckless behavior. All right, and sometimes, you got to learn the hard way. Now, I don't wish this on anybody, but when you involve yourself in reckless behavior like this is something that can happen. And I've seen it happen before. Okay. So let me show you why I say that I am hot and cold with this man. Okay. Let's go back to the video from Urban Central. And I'm just going to show you the beginning of that video. Okay. Now, in the beginning of this video, I want you to pay attention to what Woody is doing, okay? Oh, let me make sure you guys can see it. Hold on. And let me rewind it for you guys.
Where we going?
Church.
Where we going?
Church.
I don't think they heard y'all.
Church.
But we do this every Sunday. We there. Wow.
Okay, so he is walking, well, I guess with his two nephews. I'm not sure who that is, maybe family. And they are going to church, y'all. He says he goes every Sunday, which is a good thing, okay? A good thing. And I think he's doing this genuinely because this is him. I don't think it's a show. I don't think he's trying to put on for anybody. But you guys can be the judge of that. And now I want to get into what I mean when I say reckless behavior, okay? And the reason why something like this can happen. I'm not going to say this is the reason why it happened, okay? Because we're not God. But what I can say is when you involve yourself in reckless behavior like this, no matter how popular it is, no matter how fun it is, you know what I'm saying? No matter how turned you can get, it can turn fatal. And people can get injured, seriously hurt, or even worse. All right. Now, lucky for Woody, and I wouldn't say luck. I'm sure he's blessed because he does speak on God while he was in the hospital bed too. Okay. And I'll let you guys hear exactly what he had to say. Let's go ahead and get into this. And this is the example I'm talking about when you engage in reckless behavior.
So I don't.
So you guys kind of see what I'm talking about. And if you look closely, nobody has on a helmet. Okay. I'm not trying to crash the party. Okay. But what I am saying is nobody has a helmet on. Not one of them people have a helmet on. Okay. And this is what I mean by reckless behavior. Now, if you guys saw right before this, they were at like a basketball court. There were children there. What if one of those bikes would have went out of control? What if somebody would have missed their mark? Because y'all not professional. Okay, I don't see no certificate, no degrees. Didn't nobody go to stunt school? Didn't nobody go to motorcycle class? All right. So these people are not professional at all. All right. Woody is not a professional. None of them people out there are professional. Now, I mean, I wouldn't bet my bottom dollar because I don't know them people. And somebody might step up and be like, I went to school for stunts. Okay. But for the majority of people out there, y'all out there to turn up, look cute, have fun, get women. Right? And I think that this reckless behavior led to what happened to Woody. Now, if you guys don't know, Woody was arrested just weeks before this accident happened. Okay. Let's go ahead and get into why he was arrested. Because you're going down the wrong path, bruh. You're going down the wrong path, bruh. Okay. There's a lot of people out here cheering for you. All right. Want to see you win. There's a lot of people out here that want to see you lose. You know, you're walking a fine line. And I see that you are connected to God. First of all, you're walking, your nephews or whoever it was, you and the kids were walking to church. I think that's a good thing. I think it's a blessed thing. Okay. When you were in the hospital bed, you spoke of God, right? Of forgiveness, of praying. So I know you are a God-fearing man. And this is the reason why I'm saying this. You got to stay on the narrow path, brother. Okay, you're getting a little bit ahead of yourself. Hold on, you guys. Let me get into this. Now, let's go back to this article with Complex, and let's go ahead and read this. Because like I said, he was arrested just weeks before this incident happened. And this incident just happened last night or yesterday, right? Sunday? Yeah. Today's Monday, Labor Day. Happy Labor Day, you guys. If I didn't say it before. Now, let's see how he was arrested. Let me see, guys. Let me find it. All right. Let me pull this up for you guys. And like I said, he became popular after he was a trial witness in the YSL Young Thug trial. Let's see, guys. Let me go down. Because what I did is I read, but I skipped it. Let's see, guys. I mean, 29. I just saw that he was 29 years old. 29 is fairly young, but you can't. Some people are saying you're acting your shoe size and not your age. Some people are saying that. Let's see. And then we'll get to the message that he had. Let me see. When he was in the hospital bed. Now let's get into his previous arrest, okay? I mean, before this incident, because he kind of has a little, a little history. But let's just get into just previously, right before this incident. Now, this incident comes just a month after Woody was arrested on reckless driving charges for a street takeover on June 22nd. Woody is charged with stunt driving and street racing after police said videos showed him doing donuts and creating a cloud of smoke. And this is what his arrest warrant said. Now, he was arrested on June 22nd and he was released from jail on July the 3rd. And I think he was released on bond. So he was out on bond, if I'm not mistaken. Okay. Now they describe Woody as an Atlanta-based rapper who rose to fame after he testified in the YSL RICO trial against Young Thug and 27 co-defendants. And you know that case went on for a year and a half. Okay? For a year and a half. I didn't even know he was a rapper. Like I said, I was introduced to him from the YSL RICO trial, but I had no idea that he was a rapper. Okay. Now, during the trial, Woody smirked and admitted that he lied to the cop in the past before he decided to help prosecutors during a highly publicized trial. Now, as I mentioned before, the YSL case is the longest running criminal trial in Georgia's history. And now with the fallout, you guys, of everything that's happening, we're hearing Little Baby, we're hearing conversations between 21 Savage and Young Thug, but I'll get into that in a minute. I'll just mention that briefly, but we can't help but, know that they are calling Atlanta Ratlanta right now, okay? It is an uproar. I mean, it's a teetotal mess right now, okay? Is it the end of hip hop? And I'm not being funny. Because y'all, we talking about some heavy hitters in my book. Okay? Now, like I said, this is the reckless behavior that I'm talking about. You were out on bond, doing donuts in the street, revving up your car engines, okay? Creating a cloud of smoke. And you were out on bond. Not too smart. And why do I say this? Because everything happens for a reason. And if you do have a connection with God, you have to understand that sometimes God will slow you down. Okay? God will slow you down. And I think he's kind of realizing it and he's kind of taking a step back. I would hope that he's taking a step back from this and realizing his reckless behavior is not going to end well for him. Now, remember when I said that if anybody should know about a brain injury and how serious it is and what it can do to you, it would be Woody himself. And the reason why I say that is as I was looking up and getting information on here, I found out that, or did you guys know that Woody had a brain injury when he was little, like a kid? Yeah. And it was serious enough where he had to learn how to not only walk again, but talk again, you guys. I'm going to show you this clip from, let me see, I think this is Adam 22. And in this clip, he is going to speak on what happened to Woody when he was a kid, okay? Now, he's doing an interview with Whack 100, who doesn't seem to believe Woody and was calling Woody a snitch from the get-go. But you know, Whack 100 gonna come out and talk and just talk and talk and just talk and talk. And at the time, before the audio was released in the jail calls, first of all, why was y'all doing this on a jail call? But prior to all this that happened with Young Thug and all of this that has been revealed and everybody that's been thrown up under the bus and all the truth that has come to light, people were referring to Woody as a snitch, okay? And that's why Woody was like, bro, Young Thug, come on back over to our side. You need to be over here with me and Charleston White, because guess what, bro? You a snitch too. And the fact that he knew this the whole time, I know that was irritating. I know that was irritating his soul, okay? That he, and he was trying to like tell motherfuckers, like, bro, there's some fakers out there, some snakes. People act like they so gangster and they go by the code, but you get them behind closed doors and they telling it, okay? They talking like a canary, barking like a dog. All right, you guys, let me go ahead and pull up this. And like I said, Woody, how many chances you need, brother? Before you slow it down, you need to slow it down and stop and smell the roses. Everything ain't on go every day. Go, 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 go. Okay. You guys go ahead and take a listen to this clip. Oh, this is DJ Vlad. Okay. Now, like I said, this is an interview with WAC 100, but I really want you guys to pay attention to the story that is being told, or told that Vlad is telling us that he got from the interview with Woody. Okay. And I could have looked up the actual video of Kim doing the interview with Woody, but I thought this was good enough because I just wanted to highlight that this man has had an injury before. Okay? A brain injury. And this is why this is so scary, y'all. This is why it's so scary. Okay? All right, let's go. Now, as skeptical and haterade as WAC is, don't pay attention to that, okay? Because, bro, this is a whole new bag. This was almost 8 months ago, okay? A lot has happened since then. And, I mean, WAC 100 just spoke out on Young Thug and everybody else, as usual. But this may be why he was so combative when he was a trial witness. You know what I'm saying? And I don't think he would have even been involved in the YSL trial if his interrogation video was not leaked. Okay? And that's what brought him into the fold in the first place. Just like I think Gunna, like, I don't know. I mean, I know he was part of YSL. I'm sure he was on to things. I know he's not dumb. You know what I'm saying? But I really don't think that Gunna has ever been a street nigga. I mean, I don't think that he has ever really been, a street nigga. I really don't. I don't know. Y'all let me know, okay? I'm no expert on ATL rappers. This is just what I get from Gunna. Okay, but then again, Young Thug is supposed to be the thugginest thug of all, and we saw him in a dress. So what are we saying, right? And now we find out that you also snitch. So who exactly is living by the street code? Is it your grandmother? Is it your mama? Who is living by the street code? Because a lot of y'all have been put out there as snitches, okay? And to some people, like regular citizens like me, everyday citizens, that's normal. So who's really gangster? Are we looking at a bunch of rappers that ain't really gangster? They just pretending to be gangster, and you guys are really just law-abiding citizens? Y'all just civilians putting on this front, because that's what I see. I see I see civilians. I don't see no gangster. Okay. Now let's keep going, you guys. And like I said, I think that was part of his frustration. And I'm not saying specifically him being on stand for the trial witness and everything that went on, but just the fact that he couldn't, read. Possibly, I'm just saying they just brought this up. I'm just playing off of this. We don't know for sure because he danced around that answer, and like DJ Vlad said, he did not answer that, which lets me know that there's something there. Okay, and this is probably why he was frustrated, because if somebody is asking you questions and you are in, like, basically, well, he got use immunity, meaning that anything that he said on the stand, he would not go to jail for. Okay, but if you guys don't know, he was found in contempt of court and he was taken to jail over the weekend. So when he would refuse to cooperate in the courtroom and testify, like they were asking him his name, he's like, my name. The lady was asking him, oh, well, what high school did you go to? I don't remember. I don't even remember going to school. Well, did you go to middle school? Yeah. Well, did you make it to high school? Yeah. Well, what was your high school name? I don't remember. I don't even know if I went to high school. Like, he was a real asshole. Okay. He was getting on my nerve. And I watched that whole trial too. God knows why. I don't know how I made it through, but I watched that too. So he was really irritating. As a trial, please don't be another trial witness, bro, because you are thoroughly irritating. And I didn't say entertaining. I said irritating. Okay. I mean, he was just combative. He danced around. I mean, it was a whole little circus that he did. But let's continue with this, okay? Okay, so you heard DJ Vlad talk about the serious head trauma, and that's really the point that I wanted to get through by showing you guys this. Um, and now this has happened. So on top of that, compounded with that, and that's kind of a sad story. And I don't agree with WAC 100 at all. That ain't everybody's story. That is not everybody's story. Okay. where you would have such a brain injury where you had to learn how to walk and talk as a child again, that's not a normal everyday story, bro. Your mom and father passing away, and now you have nobody. And just like DJ Vlad said, maybe he didn't get the proper care. Maybe he didn't get the proper medication that he needed. You know what I'm saying? So, I don't know if this is a wake up call for Woody, but if it's not, he needs to turn it into a wake up call. Okay. He needs to turn it into a wake up call. Now, if you guys don't know, the last video that Woody did when he called out Young Thug, it was like, bro, you come on over here. You come on over to the other side, okay? Because I've been knowing you was a snitch. He got over 200K views on that. He got over 200,000 views on that video alone. All right. Okay, let me go ahead and take this down. Hold on, y'all. But like I said, this may be a wake-up call for Woody. And if it's not, I would want you to turn it into a wake-up call, Woody, because some people are out here rooting for you. All right. You're going against the grain, brother. And we don't want you to end up 6 feet under. Okay. You're doing a good thing. Now, I can't vouch for him. Like, I watch him every day. I see his videos. No, I don't. I don't know what that man doing. Nothing like that. Enough for me to speak on his full character and what he really stands for. I cannot. Okay. I don't follow him like that. But the little excerpts and videos that I do see, and when I hear him speak, he's speaking from authenticity. But it is kind of like, he ain't about that BS. He seems as if he was always about being himself. You know what I'm saying? And even in the adversity that he's facing in being in this situation, I don't know. What do you guys think about the situation? I don't know. You guys let me know. Okay. Now, this is what he had to say while he was in the hospital bed. And like I said, I think this is a wake up call for Woody, and he better take heed because the next time you may not be so blessed. Okay. You may not be so blessed, bro. Hold on, you guys. Now, I know I explained exactly how he was when he was in court, but I just want to show you guys a clip on how difficult he was. All right? Hold on. Because this man was getting on my last nerve. And the judge, it was just irritating. Like the judge, it was just great. Hold on. Okay, you guys. Hold on. Why does this keep stopping? So y'all see how he was acting a nut, right? Just the simplest questions, he would not give an answer, and you guys understand why I was frustrated and he was getting on my damn nerves. I think that's what the unlikeness that I unliked him. I didn't like him was because of that reason. Okay. And I kind of kept that attitude. But since then, I've seen a couple of his videos, and I don't know. I don't really know what to think about it, but I do know that the reason why he was arrested, and this was June of last year. I mean, yeah, June of last year. Now, he was found in contempt of court. Like I said, he was arrested during the YSL trial for willfully refusing to testify, even after being granted immunity, okay, by the state, which really made the Fifth Amendment null and void because you already had use immunity. You were already protected from, incriminating yourself. Now, the outcome of that is that, like I said, he was held in custody until he agreed to testify, though it suggests that the contempt of court was for refusing to answer basic questions like his age, leading him into being in contempt and taken into custody. So, him being simple and trying to be messy and trying to be, what I'm saying, difficult, landed him in jail. Now, fast forward to, like I said, he was arrested in July of 2025, again, on charges including reckless stunt driving and laying in drags. Okay, so drag racing, basically, in Lawrenceville, Georgia. Now, he was taken into custody by the Fulton police for these traffic related violations. Okay. But y'all see, I gave you guys a glimpse on how difficult he was in court. Okay. Why, Woody, it's time for you to get it together, brother. Okay. It's time for you to get it together. I know you're 29, but you're a grown ass man. You guys let me know what you think about this whole situation. Now, did I let you guys know exactly what he spoke when he spoke when he was in the hospital bed? Let me show you that before I let you guys go, okay? Because he did speak before he was released, and I'm pretty sure he's at home now, recuperating. He looks like he probably might be in a lot of pain. I don't know if we'll learn the extent of his injuries, and we will have to wait for the police report to come out. But let me let you hear what he had to say before he was released from the hospital. Okay. Hold on, y'all. All right, so let me go ahead and bring this up, and then we'll go through some of the comments. Okay. Now I cannot show you him because, like I said, it's not blurred out. Okay, and he is effed up. All right. So we're gonna play by the YouTube rules, but I am gonna let you hear what he had to say. Okay, listen to what he had to Okay, so you guys heard what he said. I mean, if you want to see it's graphic, so I cannot show it. He looks in bad shape. Um, from some reports, it said he received some serious injuries. But like I said, I'm not sure if the police report is out or not. The latest article that I read came out about 11 hours ago. So I don't know if there's been an update since then. But, prayers going up to Woody. I hope that he recuperates. I hope that he is well. I hope that he wasn't really seriously injured. But from the looks of it, it's pretty bad, you guys. It's pretty bad. All right. But I just wanted to let you know that he's been released. He's probably at home resting now. He's probably on pain medication, pain meds, and antibiotics, and a whole lot of other stuff for pain management. Because I'm pretty sure he's in pain. If nothing else, we know he's probably in pain. Okay, even those scrapes look bad. Like the scrapes that he has on him look pretty bad. Okay. Let me go ahead and take this down. And like I said, you guys let me know what you think about this whole situation. But we have to make sure that when we hear a story that we vet that story, okay? And what I mean by that is vet the source. Vet the source. And then you would want to check and see if that story is anywhere else, okay? Because them spreading the fact that he was unalive is just diabolical, okay? And I wouldn't wish that on anyone. But like I said, you guys, let me know what you guys think. And I will see you guys on the next video. Until next time, America.